Hello everyone, hello Earthlings. Now, I haven't done this for a while, so I'll reintroduce myself. My name is Roger Yates. I've been a vegan since 1979 and was involved in all kinds of grassroots groups in the 1980s in England, and also have done a bit of academia related to the animal issue. My MA was about the British animal protection movement, or the animal advocacy movement, and my PhD was about the support pillars of speciesism, which are philosophy, theology, and everyday social practice. Okay, I haven't done one of these for a while. In fact, I'd kind of this is one of my I'm in Neville waiting for the VIP Vegan Information Project Inc. Before football videos, and of course I realise it's winter now and it's getting dark, so this is why I have to call it a Halloween special or something. I don't know. Anyway, as ever, in a way, I keep getting drawn back to a theme here, in the sense that I feel obliged to defend veganism in its original form, I think I can claim. So there's a few things I wanted to mention. I was called out as a racist a couple of weeks ago on Facebook because someone was talking about the limitations of veganism, and I, as usual, point out the radicalism of the idea of veganism according to the founders of the social movement in England in 1944. And I was called out for the fact that the people that I was quoting were all white, and I said, well, unfortunately, that's because the founders of the English social movement, the Vegan Society, were all white. There's nothing much I can do about that. But there's another thing as well. I mean, like, there are some people who've got like ideological reasons to slim down the meaning of veganism. The Vegan Society itself is guilty of this. They seem to have kind of business reasons for doing it. You've got the so-called vegan strategist, who's got an ideological kind of opposition to veganism in its original sense, its original radical sense, and he wants to limit things down to just being about food. He says the vegan movement is just about food, which is not true, never has been true, and hopefully never will be true. So there are lots of that. And I also noticed Earthling Ed did this. I was really disappointed with this. I talked to James Aspey about it, and this idea that there are three positions. You've got this scenario of someone beating a dog, and the second position is supposed to be veganism. So you've got somebody beating a dog. Position one is you join in. Position two is you kind of, as it were, abstain, and position three is that you intervene. And Earthling Ed was saying that position two, just abstaining, is veganism. This is not true. What he's complaining about, and quite rightly, are passive, inactive vegans there. That's not veganism. There's far too much going on at the moment where the behaviour of certain vegans has been used to discredit or to damage the reputation of veganism itself. It's not veganism's fault that a lot of vegans currently are inactive vegans, the kind of potluck vegans. Although being vegan is a great thing to do in its own right. There's no issue about that, in my mind. But of course, the ideal type, and I'm a sociologist and we talk about ideal types, the ideal type of vegan would be an active vegan, an active vegan campaigning, as well as being vegan in its fullest sense, not the reduced sense. And if you're an active vegan, the likelihood is that you are going to intervene because you're going to be an activist, So it's not veganism's fault that there are inactive, passive vegans, whatever you want to call them. And I think we ought to kind of really just clarify that issue and make it very clear that we shouldn't blame the ideology, the philosophy of veganism for what some vegans do and what some vegans want to do, and in fact what some vegetarians like Tobias Leenaert, the vegan strategist, wants to do, which is essentially redefine veganism to vegetarianism. Now, You know, I'm hoping that this guy will never be able to do that. He does have the support of some of the wishy-washy national groups who always fudge it. You know, we know already, there's research even on why the national groups won't produce a consistent vegan message, and that's because there are not enough vegans to pay all their wages, essentially. So rather than sorting that part of it out, they would fudge the message in order to get the money, you know, which is, in my view, a disgrace, to be honest. But that's the way it is. The grassroots vegan movement needs to stay strong and needs to stay defensive, I think, of veganism in its expansive sense. And I'll put a link down below to the last video, I think it was, that I did, which was about the vegan founders, and it was about the radicalism of the vegan founders and the grand vision of veganism, you know, which started as part of the peace movement. You know, it was really a pro-intersectional idea right from the start, even though that word wasn't used because it wasn't invented then. You know, it was a radical idea, even though, you know, the people who started the social movement didn't seem that radical. Their views were pretty radical. It was a blend of animal rights and human rights and ecological concerns, you know, so it fitted in with eco-feminist ideas about the logic of domination, fits in with David Nybert's ideas about the entanglements of oppression and liberation, fits in even with ideas like total liberation. You know, we need to take an expansive, wide, radical view of things to get some real change, the kind of real change that we need. Okay, that's about everything I wanted to say this time. Thanks for watching. Roger and out. Keep vegan, stay vegan, defend veganism, and don't blame veganism for what some vegans do. That's wrong. Okay, bye for now.